afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Crowdsurfing. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Mike Delisio.
And we're taking a look at various projects on Kickstarter. Again, mostly Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You know, for GameFound and BackerKit trying to come up in Kickstarter's grill, it's not happening that much
Not
yet.
yet. Not yet. It's
only, one this week, I think?
One GameFound
GameFound.
That's it.
Although, that being said, this is in my opinion, this is a terrific week.
That's two back-to-back, in your opinion.
The board. And not only there are games that I'm personally not interested in, just because of the nature of the type of game that I still think look great. So I'm looking forward to talking about these.
Yeah. How many are you looking at maybe backing?
Well, this is.
I'll tell you it's a high week for me, so I'm not trying to put you on the spot here.
I'm going to put it to you this way. There's two that I'm for sure backing, and there's. Anyway, when we get to the pick of the week, it's going to be brutal. I'm not going to pick one because you're going to pick it.
Everyone's picking practically the same game.
No, I'm not, because I know other people are going to pick it.
Then no one's going to pick it. And then,
they will.
No.
They will.
I don't know.
I'm not picking it.
We'll get to it.
I refuse to pick it. If you pick it, I'm tackling
Let's
you.
just say there's some great looking projects this week.
But,
yeah.
But okay, and again, we pick stuff that's ending in the next 8 to 10 days.
Don't abuse the handkerchief
or
like that.
less.
Yeah.
Or less. You like a Southern gentleman? Wow.
I do declare.
Oh, my. Ooh, it's an obvious pick of the week.
Oh, my word. All right, well, let's get started here.
Let's do it.
All right.
Pick of the week.
I say.
Twinkle Twinkle Starship and Planet Cute. I really hate that so much.
Wait,
I knew
what
you'd
did
hate
you call it? Planet what?
It's cute backwards.
It's cute
Yeah,
backwards.
I got that, but what do you call it?
I say cute
Planet
because I'm
Cute.
not saying it backwards. It's
He's not
dumb.
going to say Planet
I hate
Cute.
it so much.
Okay.
Especially since they capitalized the C in case you missed it.
Yes.
Oh, it's cute backwards.
Oh my gosh. I just see
I'll
a
say-
2. I don't see the C on the end.
So this is two more kind of quirky sounding trick-taking games by the Japanese designer.
And that I'm interested
I'm
in.
super interested because of his games. I've been a pretty big fan. He did Ghosts of Christmas. He did the American Bookshop. So what I'm more excited about, I think this is a neat sounding one, especially this first one where you've got kind of those digital numbers and you can put little sticks on there to change the numbers. That's super cool.
Cute idea. Cute idea.
Is that now we are in markets that were not easily able to get these games are now, because of crowdfunding, able to get some of these games now. And I think that's so cool because I've imported a bunch of these. A, they're not cheap.
And B, you're a hipster. A huge hipster.
I'm a hipster. And so now I
Mike
can
played
have
these before it was cool.
That's right. I played these while I was drinking a latte. Yeah, these look great.
I'm going to wait till they get republished.
You don't like the look of
in
them?
about 3 months.
I don't like the look of either, unfortunately, Mike. I don't like this art for this one. And this one, even though putting the sticks on the cards looks cool, the cards themselves look like I just bought this at the 5 and below.
It's a bookstore that's
3
producing.
and below.
You know, from what I understand, this is a bookstore that's producing games.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, no, you're not going to get, like.
No, you cannot keep saying stuff like that. So
No,
what?
I'm just
Bookstores
saying.
should know things that look good.
All right,
Judge
yeah.
books by their covers, I believe, is the phrase.
Jeez, that's exactly
I
it.
don't love or hate. I'm ambivalent, but I'm excited about the gameplay. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they are interesting. If nothing else, they'll be quirky and they'll be somewhat engaging. They might not be good. I don't know, right? But they'll at least make you go, huh? Okay.
Right.
But I don't like the way they look. And I know that if they are halfway decent, they will be republished.
Yeah, we'll wait for board game tables.
Right.
There you go. Yeah, but it definitely does have that familiar game kind of turned on its side a little bit. The quirky familiarity, to them. But I'm with you. I don't like the look.
All right, Mike, we just shot you down.
The digital
All right,
one.
let's shoot down
All right.
Mike's next project.
Right.
Let's
I
do
don't
it.
like those digital
Hidden
cards.
Leaders, Forgotten Legends. I am a little surprised with the popularity of Hidden Leaders. I think it's a great looking game.
You
The
play
look
this
of-
and
the look
review
of it's
it.
terrific.
Yeah, I
love
think
this
the
art.
game is fine is basically the best word for it, because what it is you have these secret factions that you're following. There's 4 factions, except now there's an extra faction with this expansion.
Right.
And you just play a bunch of cards in front of you that move these different tokens around on the faction track, and depending on where they end up, depends what faction wins.
Okay, it's kind of that push and pull.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also almost take that-ish in a sense. Like, I'll move this 2 forward, I'll move it 2 back.
Right. I think they even show take that as a mechanic, so they don't even lean away from that.
And that's fine. It's a fine little game. It doesn't feel like the kind of game that people would buy an expansion for, but I am also incorrect on that since people are very much buying an expansion for it.
Well, certainly, I mean, the look of the game is
it's great looking.
outstanding. You know, I don't particularly have a lot of interest in the push-pull deduction, maybe.
Typically, right.
Yeah.
I feel like this kind of game, though, is ripe for an expansion. Yeah, if you know you like the base game, then yeah, another faction to give that variability, that flexibility. It seems like a good call for them.
But a lot of people who play lighter games like this don't often look for expansions. Like the word expansion for the mass market isn't even in their heads.
But is this a lighter game within hobby board gamers? It's not, when you say light, I mean you don't go to Target.
Possibly.
And those people do look for expansions.
Right, so I don't want to, again, the numbers aren't lying. People want this.
I think it's a small, light game that falls very much into that cool gaming.
Right.
You know, circle now. And those do get expansions. Sometimes really bad expansions. I'm not saying this is one, but like dumb expansions. And they will do well. Because they are cool games.
It would be like the Time Bomb or Don't Mess with Cthulhu.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Kraken, whatever the one we were looking at earlier.
Yeah, No Touch Kraken.
No Touch Kraken.
I believe is what it's called.
I really wanted that.
Well, again, look,
I haven't played this, so I don't really know if it's the kind of game that would warrant an expansion.
But 1,200 backers are buying the game with the expansion.
Got it.
So it's
It's
another go at the base game.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's a beautiful looking game. The artwork, the artwork has got to be doing some serious heavy lifting here.
Right.
No, and I think a lot of people like it. I'm
not my pick of the week, though. I'll say that right now.
All right. Hit your mama.
Hit
All right.
your mama.
Yo, mama.
Hitodama.
This is a Mexican publisher, I believe.
Yeah.
And
This looks cool.
I love the look of this. Again, I mean, gameplay, I'm still a little bit unsure. I mean, I was trying to get a feel. I didn't read the rule book or anything, but I was watching the little thing and watched the video. But boy, do I like the look and the aesthetic of it.
I probably spent the most time, or this was one of the ones I spent the most time looking at this week. It looks neat. I love the look.
Yeah.
I like that they were talking about the mythology, whatever trappings of the game here. And so I did dig a little bit deeper. I still couldn't quite put my finger on how much of a game is there. Like, you know how sometimes you'll read a rulebook or just listen to someone talk and you can't really tell if you'll like the game.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a sound designed.
Right.
Design. This one I couldn't tell. I can't tell if I play this and I'm like, oh, this isn't really that strong mechanically or not.
Right.
I'm hoping it is. You know, I was kind of tempted to maybe back it because it's so indie.
Worker placement, pick up and deliver, contract
A little
fulfillment.
bit,
also
and
kind
then
of-
things shut down.
Kind of also ever changing as you're unlocking certain things and seasons are coming in and out. I think that's what I kind of struggled with, is nailing down the mechanisms and the flow of the game, because it just seemed kind of pieced. So I just hope the game doesn't get in its own way. But I think, again, aesthetically, it's absolutely gorgeous, and I think there's probably more to it than what it looks like when you just see the artwork and just see the board. And I think it's just going to take more research for me specifically to kind of see that whole big picture, because it did feel a little disjointed.
My biggest concern is the when it fulfills.
Tomorrow.
No, it's exactly the opposite. I want to say it's when is it? 2024?
Wow, so is it not? Maybe that's why it has that disjointed feel. Is it still being developed?
Yeah, May of 2024.
That is a long.
That's a long time to wait.
So I think
At least you're being honest, I suppose.
yeah,
There's
so
that.
wow. There's another game this week we're going to be looking at that also was that I was also spending a lot of time looking at because the artwork, and that was also clearly first and a game made around that.
Got it.
This feels a little bit like
Maybe, but I love the look of it.
Here's the lore.
And I
Let's
love,
find a
again,
game.
see, I'm sorry, beating this drum. I'm loving this. I feel like it's a trend that we're seeing board games in parts of the world that we were not seeing come from as much before.
Which I think can maybe be attributed to Kickstarter.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
it's that opportunity, those window of
Right, to
opportunity
get
to
your
get that
game
global
seen. Yeah.
and that global audience you can reach.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, here's our biggest project of the week,
Yes.
and that is Slay the Spire, the board game, a cooperative deck building adventure. And people are over the moon on this one. I have played a lot of Slay the Spire on my
video
iPad, the video game.
Yeah.
It is a deck building, what do they call them, roguelike game, where you go through and you fight monsters and you draw cards, and the cards give you attack and defense, and you try to play them in the right order.
Okay.
And then you get more cards and upgrade your cards and blah, 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 and the monsters get harder. It's very, very fun, very addicting. It has 4 very different characters.
Okay.
They just do different things. Like one's poisons, this card's... I'm not interested in this because it's such a good app.
Right.
And I watched how this plays, and it looks incredibly faithful. And I'm thinking, why?
Yeah, just play the app.
I'll just play the app. I don't want to play with other people. It's going to slow the game down.
Right.
Well, I think on that note, I worry that it is so true to the app and to the game, which there's the cards, I guess mitigate, for lack of a better word, your attacks and your defenses, and you drink this potion and that kind of stuff. So I wonder how much upkeep, because they're staying so close to the app and stuff, how much upkeep is there going to take in a board game version of that? It might kind of slog everything down. That's my concern. Like, why wouldn't you just do the app or the game and just let it do it for you?
Well, the cards, you can upgrade the cards.
Right.
So do you take the card of your deck and put a new one in every time you do that?
I guess it has a bunch of cards in it. Isn't it like 900 cards or something?
It's like when you
400?
play Hearthstone, for example. And they can do things digitally that you can't do physically.
Right.
Like change the number on a card that's in your hand, but it's a digital card, so they can do whatever they want. The game can't do that.
Right.
That upkeep, that upgrading, that sort of...
Oh, they're flippable
That's going
cards.
to be slow. That's going to just be grindy. This is weird. The game already supplanted this idea, the video game.
Right.
And I want to be clear, I would
going
give this,
back
I
and
would give
making
this game
a
a
card
10 out of 10.
As a video.
like the app, the game.
I really like it. I still think you guys should try it at some point.
Yeah,
It's
no,
really fun.
I plan to.
I just think it's weird when something is clearly based on cards in card games, but has done so electronically and therefore done things the game can't do to go back and make a card game.
Feels like almost regressive.
It's a step back.
It's regressive, yeah.
But you know, make all the money in the world.
And they are. They're making over $3 million.
That's all the money in the world.
My two things, I guess, is one is that at least, I will say this, they're not going into a completely oversaturated. There's not a lot of cooperative deck builders. You know, you got Aeon's End, you got a few. They're not, you know, at least that's a little bit different. But it's also not cheap, right? I'm sure they've got to pay for this IP. But, you know, a deck building game over $100. I know they threw some minis in there. I mean, and that's, you know, look, cost is a very difficult thing to talk about with Kickstarters because none of these are usually very cheap, right? You know, I mean, you do have to pay. And so I don't think it's really out of the realm, but it does seem a little high for a deck builder.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm lying when I say I'm not interested in it at all. I am interested in it. I just have such severe doubts it will work for everything Z said.
Right, I think that's my concern is, I mean, to go back for a second. So are you and I the only ones that have played the video game?
I guess so.
Have I played? Okay.
Okay, so which is your favorite character?
I've not made it very far. I've just played it. But I'm still more than them.
Yeah, that's true.
Still more than them. I only played one character, the main one.
Sorry, that was not
an hour and a half.
Are you a true geek question? I was just curious.
Let me have my moment. I played a video game.
You should have just made something up.
I did, yeah, but I liked it. And I remember thinking, full disclosure, I played it because of this Kickstarter, and I was like, oh, let me see if I like the game. Hold on, so it's research here is what it was.
Sure.
But I, as I'm playing, like, oh, I like this. I can see where it's going. Holy smokes, a paper version of this would be so much upkeep. You know, whereas the card, like, again, if you play something that makes all of your, I forget what the names are, but it makes all of your attacks 30% more or whatever, the number on your cards in your hands change. You know what I mean? Instead of just being like, oh wait, I forgot I played that, so 4, you know, just the upkeep. Oh wait, I forgot I have that potion. What's that one do again? It's all right there on your screen, and I'm just worried about the slog of a board game version of this. Being said, I would absolutely try it because I really enjoyed the game. I would try it.
Shuffle a lot.
And shuffle sleeve cards, I think, right? This is
you're going to shuffle a lot because you'll fight some enemies who will hit you and they'll throw some stuff in your deck. So I guess you immediately shuffle that in.
Right.
Oh, forget it. No, I hate everything. Everything you're saying is just making me want to try
We're playing
the video game.
We're playing it.
Right.
You know?
How will we play this, Mike?
We'll play it live!
All right. We actually might play this one live. We'll see. Because obviously,
video game?
25,000 people are interested in
The
it.
video game.
You should do the video game for your What's Happening.
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, why not?
And you did Marvel Snap.
Right.
And don't say
guess
it's a
that's
Marvel.
true.
What are you talking
Apparently
about?
now we're doing video games.
I mean,
trying to
I felt
wait to
them
roll
start
his
to go,
eyes.
and I was like, no, eyeballs, come back. Okay, fine. Slay the Spire. Tune in 2 weeks.
There you go.
Role Player Adventures reprint plus a new expansion. Another big project.
Yep.
So Role Player Adventures is one of those games that I suspect will almost never be sold in stores. It's very heavy. I mean, as in physically.
They say as much on this page. That,
it's a big old thing.
It's not something you should ever expect to go to retail, just because of the nature of the project.
This is the second expansion at 7 books. The original game has 10.
Okay. That's
Each book is like
pretty big expansion.
A book is basically a big giant choose your own adventure.
Okay. Wow.
And you've just flipped through that book, and then it tells you things that will happen.
Okay.
Maybe there's only 6 because the 7th should have. I don't know. Anyway,
so for nerds is what you're saying. This is some big box for nerds.
Well, again, if you look, the new expansion here has 2,000 backers, and then if you want the graphic novel, the base game 59. But if you want the base game with the expansion, that's 64. So most people are just getting the expansion, or they're doing one of these mega all-in. But this is the kind. We finished this.
You and your kids, right?
Yeah. In fact, it has Dice Tower Seals of Excellence, which comes from my kids.
Okay.
I thought it was good, but I had some problems with the game. The combat in the game is interesting. The skill checks I found to just eventually turn into luck.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You can do lots of dice mitigation until you can't.
Yeah, didn't you play this one live?
Oh yeah, I played it solo live for a while.
That's right, and I remember
That was a
thinking.
pretty terrible
I remember
roll.
thinking when I was watching, I'm like, man, he can't roll anything he needs, you know.
I should have not played with one character. I think that's a bad way. I think this is one of those games that doesn't solo well. I think it was more fun in a group.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But yeah, but I mean, I like this universe, even if it is D&D brought into this thing.
Sure.
And the story was pretty fun. I don't want to spoil any more about the story. You can just go watch my review for it. But hey, it's another way to get the game. Get the first expansion, get the new expansion.
I will say, not
This-
knowing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I would say, not knowing anything about going role player adventure going into this, it is one. I'm not an RPG player, but this is one that definitely piqued my interest, and I was like, I really love that choose your own adventure style games, or kind of choose your path. So it's definitely one that interested me.
I don't know the adventures thing either, and this didn't really interest me.
The one thing I do like about this, they do a good job at, hey, you meet a guy in a jail, so he's like, free me. You're like, oh. If you free him, he might run away, and then 4 adventures later, you might meet him again.
I love
If
that.
you freed him.
If you freed him, because the game will have
Remember
different
that.
check parts, different
Yeah.
checkpoints. Hey, if you have this, go here.
I really like that. Yeah.
And I like that a lot. That's fun. We did that. There was a couple. Well, my kids decided to go full on baddie, even though they insisted the bad guys were really the good guys. Which after we were done, I was like, you might have been right. But anyhow,
All right.
Wander: Leclerc's Revenge. So this is a sequel to the first Wander, The Cult of Barnacle Bay.
This is one you played and reviewed, I believe, Tom?
It is.
It's one that always caught my eye. While it was around here, it was just eye-grabbing. I don't know, eye-catching. I was interested in checking it out. I didn't. Tom reviewed it. It kind of made its way out of here. But
I like it, but it has some problems. I probably give it a 7 out of 10.
yeah.
What it feels like is a CMON game. It looks like a CMON game.
It does
It
look
does.
like
It does,
one.
yeah.
That's partly why.
Especially
It looked like
miniatures.
rubbing bones, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, the person
Okay.
who runs the company used to work for CMON, so he brought his expertise and things he learned. It has a lot of rough edges.
Okay.
So, and their latest game they made, I did not like as much. Shovel Knight.
Oh, they did Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I didn't like Shovel Knight as much, and I don't like their graphic design particularly. But this looks like more of the same. So if you want to if you like the whole animals running around shooting each other, I do like these rhinos. They look pretty cool.
Rhino Cannoneers.
He's carrying a cannon.
I do find I have a problem reconciling the artwork, which I think is very good, with the graphic design, like you were saying. Because I think you're right. It does not look well put together necessarily from, an aesthetic point of view. But I really like the artwork.
Yeah.
Like the cover of the first one, which we had here for a while, looked great. I like these characters. I like the animations, the illustrations.
Right.
But I don't know. It just doesn't quite... It still has that sort of... if you flip it over, it'll say made in Kickstarter kind of look.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
Did you find it kind of clunky, the different layers where like you can turn the board over to go down and up, and the dark rooms that you go in? Did you find that smooth playing in it? I mean, that was an interesting
I
mechanism
don't
to
remember
me.
turning boards over.
I don't remember that one. Okay.
Is that new to this?
That might be
one?
new.
Maybe
Could
it's
be.
just new to this one then. Okay, because I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, someone in the chat actually wrote the word that I was thinking. It does look a bit cluttered to me. A little messy, a little cluttered, but I do like the art. So yeah, this one I'm on the fence. If you had been more excited about it, then I'd be like, yeah, maybe I need to check this out. But I was on the fence anyway, so I'm not.
I feel
so
like
sure.
if everyone played this, my 7 would still be the highest score.
Yeah.
I really think
Really?
that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this would be an interesting one to see on the board to see if more of the artwork comes through or does more of the cluttered nature, because we're kind of getting a little bit of both and seeing these renderings. I think it'd be one that I would want to see on the table and
What's my quote?
kind of decide.
Feels really good. The whole game runs really smoothly, and it's just fun.
Oh.
I'm the best.
Do you take
I'm
back
the best
everything
quote.
you just
Apparently,
said?
you're also is that a rooster or?
Actually, yes, that was a promo card we had from them.
Oh, okay.
nice.
Yes.
With the hat. I like that,
With the
actually.
hat.
You look very dapper there, Tom.
Yeah. So, but again, I liked it, and it just had a few rough edges, which I enjoyed it enough to get through that. I thought it was a fun system.
Right.
I just don't know that everyone else would. Well,
But
who
this
knows?
year, I mean, with the expansion, maybe it addresses some of those.
Is it standalone? Did they say that?
I believe it is
Yeah.
standalone.
Okay.
Or you can integrate it. So I mean,
Yeah,
the
it's
fact that it's standalone, maybe they kind of took some of those rough edges into account.
that could be.
Definitely worth a closer look, I think.
All right, Nawalli, the Aztec card game.
So this is
Is
the
this
one
the one you were saying about art?
Yeah.
Knew it.
This is the one I was saying, like, I have no interest in this as a type of game. I don't particularly like head-to-head battling in lane card games.
Sure, yeah.
But if I were going to play one, I want it to have a theme like this and a look like this, because it does not look like every other out there. I really love the look of this.
See, I disagree. I really love what they based it off of, but
We're
I feel
coming from the exact opposite,
I feel like
right?
they went too cartoony with the actual look on the cards.
Oh, really?
I feel like
I
it's
think
just
it's perfect.
Too,
Yeah,
really,
no, I think this is
disagree.
great.
It's just
Look at
it's
that
too
guy.
rounded. I love like the actual like just the flat nature of these carvings and paintings and stuff
Like
like
a
that.
South
I feel like
American
it just
Mad
doesn't-
Magazine.
I mean,
No,
that
I think-
raccoon right there looks like a cartoon character. It doesn't look like one of the paintings.
That one's a little. That one might
Maybe
be
a
pushing
little
it.
bit, but yeah, no.
like that tiger or the thing with the spots. That looks straight out of those, that imagery.
History book, yeah.
Maybe it's the colors that I think, because I think it looks a little too cartoony.
And I think I
know?
love the look. The gameplay
Like,
is not my type, but man, do I
That
love
stuff
the look
on the
of it.
left there, love. I feel like the right just missed it just a little bit.
Huh. I think they nailed it. I
do
think the
too.
look is fantastic. The game is, like you said, a lane battler sort of game. I like those. I like collectible card games in theory more sometimes than I like them in practice. I'm not sure about this game necessarily. It's got sort of like attack and defense are the red dots and the blue dots. Cool, got that. Fine. I'm not sure about those symbols. The symbol, each of those is an ability.
Right.
And if you stack multiple creatures on top of one another, then they all have that ability. And you need to go and reference what those abilities are. There's 20, I believe.
Yeah.
That's where you lose me. If you make a collectible card game or a trading card game, whatever, and you're trying to avoid text for the aesthetics, that means I got to do the work on the back end,
Right.
I mean, I got to like have a bank of keywords over here and what they mean and all of that.
Your player aid's as big as your tableau.
Yeah.
You know?
So I really I heat and haw looking at this because I like the look a lot, but. And I think this might be the one that was fulfilling incredibly soon.
I think, yeah.
Because one of them was like, wait, this is like next month.
Yeah, there was one in December. I don't know if it was this one.
Yeah, actually, this one already fulfilled. No, it's December of this year.
Yeah, so it's
like-
like in a month.
So it's already been produced,
like
obviously.
2 weeks. Oh my god.
Clearly it's been produced. So
Yeah.
I was very
Interesting.
tempted by this one. It just looks beautiful.
I will say I do feel like they knew what they were going for with the art style and with the theme. And I do think that is coming through. Again, my concerns, my personal, I think they missed the art just a little bit. I don't hate it, I just think they missed it a little bit. And I am concerned about all the symbology and that just muddying things up. But I think that they, again, know the theme and really put that into the game, which I think, kudos to that. I'm really into that.
And again, not a theme we see every day, right?
Exactly,
not
yeah.
another
It's very refreshing.
Fantasy trading card game.
Mages, you know?
Yeah, it's like, oh my,
Yeah.
the same thing over and over. This is great.
Absolutely.
All right, I haven't heard of this next one, Unconscious Mind.
This is so hard for me that this is having to go up this week.
Oh, wow. Okay, what a tough life we all lead. All right, so this game is based on 2 different artists, Vincent Dutrait and Andrew Bosley, both great arts. One of them, Andrew Bosley, is drawing the dreams. The other is drawing, Vincent Dutrait, real life. This is kind of like the Mount Rushmore if you just had two artists on
Correct.
it. We can argue sometime about who the other 2 might be, but I would put these 2 on, I think.
Yeah, so agreed. The art is
Also, there's a
spectacular.
game in there somewhere.
Well, here's the thing. Camilla and I played through some of this at Essen. They ran a demo. And my biggest surprise was that I expected the game to be lighter. Why did I expect it to be lighter? I don't know. I just did going in. I expected it to be, and that's not a bad thing. Let me make this very clear. If you are a mid to heavy Euro gamer and this theme is interesting to you, you need to do a little bit of research.
This didn't look this didn't look light at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
But I didn't have all this going in, Tom. This I didn't have all this information. I knew the theme.
And Endless Winter yet.
Right,
So
I hadn't played Endless Winter yet. A different designer, first of all, but same publisher.
Same developer.
Same developer too.
which is
Yeah.
huge.
Johnny Pack was heavily involved with both. I was very impressed. For a heavy Euro, I was very impressed. Did not play through a full game, to be clear, but I definitely feel like we got a sense for what the game is about, right? Like, so if you like heavy Euros, you like this theme, you like this art, I can tell you, the production looked good, and it was a prototype. I have received their first game, the Endless Winter, and the production on that I thought was, stellar. So,
Right. Sorry, that was an odd pause.
Well, I was going to you because you played it too. Yeah.
So it's funny because I think I went in with the opposite expectation. I went in, for whatever reason, I knew this was heavy. I don't know where I heard that or how I heard it. But I went in knowing it was going to be that heavier. And so that always makes me a little nervous because I do like heavier Euro games, but I want a heavy thematic integration into it. I want to be able to feel the theme and understand the rules and mechanisms of the game because of that theme. And so I was really hesitant going into this on where that would fall, and I would say I was very surprised that just how fluid the game was, how much it made sense. I could understand the gameplay, I could put it together based on the theme. As you're treating these patients and you're, bringing them out of the catharsis, and it just was really interesting. I thought it had great elements of you're never blocked out of certain actions as you go out and choose your actions on the main board. It's all in the way you orient your little thinking cloud, but you're also using that to actually channel your own personal board and move your, I forget what all the terminology is, but the little dropper bottle in order to activate a row. All of that, it just worked really well. It was really fluid, and again, the more you thought about the theme, the more the game came to life. Right. I do have a little concern after that play. It was a demo, and so we started a couple rounds into it, and it was built up, and immediately, that first turn, we had that like combo-tastic feeling, and that was really exciting. So I do kind of think, I hope that this next time I play, it's not like, oh, I start with nothing. I hope that you can get to that combo feel, because that was extremely satisfying. I just hope it doesn't take the whole game to get to that. Being said, nothing but praise for this. I'm really excited about this one.
I'm curious how interested you are in this, Z.
I am interested. This looks fantastic, and you guys haven't said anything to dissuade me from that. It's a heavy Euro. Okay.
A couple of quick things.
I'm not that worried about it. I mean, I'm assuming it's not like Vital Lacerda heavy.
No, it's not. Well, a couple of things. Number one, and Camilla mentioned this, and it made me think, if you are interested primarily for the theme, then I agree with you. This is not a pasted-on theme. Okay. It's a very well-integrated theme. And number two, looking at the chat, just reinforces how it's almost fruitless to mention the weight of a game. One person's heavy is not another person's heavy.
That's true.
I feel like it's medium heavy. Doesn't mean you're going to. You might think this is Uno, okay? I found it at least medium heavy.
Yes.
It's not going to make your head explode, but I guess I just had expectations going in. It would be lighter.
Mike is nicer than I am. I'm saying if we call a game medium heavy, it's medium heavy.
Right. I'm telling you, the vast majority. There's a lot of gamers out there who have no sense of how complex games are. I really think that. Yeah.
I put this at heavier than Endless Winter. Would you?
I can't say because we only played a little bit of this.
Okay, that's true, yeah.
Although it's interesting.
I haven't played it, so I'll say yes, it is.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I asked the developer, and I think he said he thought that Endless Winter was heavier than this.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know.
Okay.
They're about the same.
They're similar,
maybe.
right?
Yeah.
They're similar.
That's solid. I'm in. Let's go. When is this delivering? I want it.
It might be a while.
Let's move on. Wana. I wanna. All right. This looks. I would buy this.
Z and I were talking about this.
We were checking this out. Yeah,
This looks very cool,
It's
actually.
a very neat looking abstract. Tom and I just reviewed an abstract, so I'm kind of in that mood right now. I'm very. When I get into when I play an abstract or two, I sort of get in a mood for abstract games, and this is then so it's sort of giving me that buzz looking at this, going, ooh, how would this work out? And one really cool thing they're doing is. This is obviously something you could do yourself, but they're making available a print and play
Right now.
that has this shape. Obviously, you bring your own pawns. You need, 8 of 2 colors? And so you can try this game out
Yeah.
before you back it.
Right.
You know, obviously you're getting, part of what you're paying for is the aesthetics
Right.
that they're producing here for you. But I love that. I love an abstract design that they're saying, no, we believe in it enough that we'll let you play it.
Right.
A lot of games don't do that.
I like this phrase here.
Which one?
Fork your opponent by threatening 2 pieces at once.
I think that's a language thing there.
That's
but yeah.
true. Okay, that's how you do it.
Now, if I remember right, Tom, this is the same designer that did that other little abstract that you
with
backed,
with the
right?
3 colors.
With the 3
little-
colors, yeah, the HE.R.O.
Oh, I like the HE.R.O. Yeah, I like the
yeah.
HE.R.O. a lot.
And we
that's
looked at
Sayu,
we looked
I
at
think is
Sayu.
here.
Yeah, we looked at it. I haven't messed with it yet.
Oh, I remember covering
Pretty sure I back all these projects. That's
But
probably
I'm telling you,
what it is.
for $26, this looks like something you can leave out on your coffee table, right? This is a nice looking little abstract game that, again, you could probably teach to just about anybody.
I agree. I kind of this one's tempting.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful looking game. I like the wood. I like the colors. I like the geometry of it.
Yeah,
And like they're saying, even like you could be playing a bit of a game and then leave it, and it just
Right.
looks artistic
it does. Yeah,
halfway through the game. You know,
I don't care for this look.
I like it.
really, you don't like
Gameplay,
the.
no, I don't. Gameplay, I was intrigued, but based on the look, I would not.
What would
I
you
would not
want
buy
it to be, though?
I don't know. I just feel like I think, well, it's my personal taste. I don't love the cherry wood. I would want something natural. I know, there it is.
Cherry wood is amazing.
No. But then I think also the marbles are too plasticky looking. I would want something.
You could replace the
Classier.
marbles, I guess.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
look like
yeah.
glass to me.
Where
but-
would you
I said
find marbles in this
classier,
studio?
not glass.
Oh no.
So I mean, again, it's just personal taste at that
Yeah, of
point. Like
course.
that one, I don't love the look of this one.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy talk.
All right. Helionox Chronicles. So this is set in the Helionox universe, a universe that I don't think I still have dipped my toe into.
I played Helionox years ago.
It's like a deck building game.
barely remember
It was
it.
like, I mean, they've had
Yeah.
a couple of things in this setting.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they've had a couple of things
Me
in
too,
this setting,
actually.
I'll say, because I watched the video, as much of it as I could get through, until it basically becomes word soup.
It wasn't really talking about
Did you
the game.
listen to the video?
I did. It was just world building, but I couldn't understand what they were
It
saying.
was like
Right.
nonsense.
Right.
They
Right.
just sort of strung words together
Yes.
in a dramatic reading that sounded kind of spacey and sci-fi, with a bunch of nonsense words strung together to, I guess, again, allude to world building.
Right, right.
I eventually was like, I don't know what that sentence meant, like none of it, so I'm done watching. This looks thoroughly uninteresting to me.
Yeah, the fact that I played the game and remember really almost nothing about it. As a matter of fact, I'd forgotten that I played the game until I was looking at this page. I'm like, oh, I remember the look of this.
Well,
I
this
remember
one
the graphic
isn't
design.
this one card I just saw. We went
Well, this
by
one
cards.
is-
Isn't that card there? This one here.
The cover of
The
the
cover
old
That's the
of
one.
one of the
cover of
games?
the old one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
cover of the one I played.
It's a different game, though, right?
It's just called Helionox.
Yeah, and this
Okay.
has a board and stuff. That
Oh,
other
that's
one was,
true. I think the other one was just cards.
just cards.
Yeah, there it is. I remember that one.
Yeah.
I think it was just cards.
And it wasn't even the deluxe
Wait, these are the guys
edition.
who made Thunder Rolls?
Yeah, Thunder.
Looks like it.
Legally distinct. Yeah, the original one was a small box card game, like a you know the blue line
Yeah,
FFG
kinda, right.
size. Yeah, is that silver line? Whatever it
Silver
was.
line.
Silver line.
Blue was just something else.
Yeah.
It's a different color.
All right. Yeah.
I did think that was an interesting mechanism that you place the dice for your action selection before you roll it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, ooh, is that going to be the right kind of luck or the wrong kind of luck where you're placing your die but then roll it after you kind of select for it?
The dice are made out of cherry wood, so you wouldn't like it anyway.
I like the art.
I do
like the art, but I don't like the graphic design again.
Yeah.
It feels a little busy, I feel like.
It's very busy.
I'm concerned about that.
And like all the exposure and all the artwork is wrong. Like everything that's dark is too dark. The bits that are bright are too bright. Like,
yeah.
mess with your settings. You know what I mean? I want to like change the settings a little bit.
Right.
All right, Tabriz. Now this is from Crafty Games, and this is
the designer of Cascadia.
Yeah, I'm really getting confused with the Cascadia stuff sometimes because they're like, what's the name of that company?
Flat
Out. But then there's a Flat Out game that doesn't include some of the designers.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're confusing.
They're like a cooperative in a sense. Like, you know, I think even I'm not sure I'm with you. It's a little confusing. Like, did they do I'm assuming they at least did development work on Cascadia, although it was Randy Flynn's design. This one, for one reason or another, I think mechanically it's nothing like it, but for some reason this is reminding me of Istanbul a little bit. And I didn't do a lot of research before this week, but the more I did, the more I was like, man, this looks like a game I might actually really like.
Right.
I like the idea of going to the different stores and the different way of getting resources. Maybe you're rolling dice to get these resources. Maybe you're just going there. I don't know. This looks like it could be interesting again in a setting that I don't feel is oversaturated, you know, for themes and stuff.
Seems like they did a lot of work to put the theme first.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of. It's well researched. It seems important to them, and therefore I feel like it's coming across that this theme mattered, and they were doing a lot of work to have it, I guess, you know, sort of pop off the game, come across well.
It definitely has that busy market kind of feel where there's multiple places you can go to get this resources, but like you said, how are you going to do it? Is it going to be with this dice mitigation? Is it just going to be paying a higher price to guarantee you get what you want? Is it going to be, you know, so you're kind of sending your assistants out to try and get what you need, but playing against the different locations. You know, kind of that busy market feel where a lot of different ways to get it depending on the fluctuation of the market. And I thought that was really interesting. It doesn't really necessarily look like you're always going to be shut out of certain things, but maybe get better deals and having to read the market and have your workers in the right place at the right time. And so I was really interested in it. I think it brought that, like you said, it had that theme brought forward with some really interesting kind of power moves of, you know, predicting the future and having your people in the right place at the right time and kind of working the market. I think that this looks really, really interesting.
Tom, what are your thoughts?
I'm trying to figure out if we've talked about this before.
No, it was in the news. It was in the news. Chris asked about it, but it was in the news. Yeah.
My thoughts are this is not a Cascadia.
No.
I agree, right?
This is a very different game. I'm not sure I love long boards.
It's becoming a thing, isn't it?
It's becoming a thing, and I'm not sure I love it because it's really hard to see all the way down at the other end when you're sitting at one end. But that being said, it looks cool. I hope it's good.
I think for me, because we're looking at Unconscious Mind, this looks to me like the visually and just what's going on, the wrong kind of complex, or at least the less interesting kind of complex. Whereas Unconscious Mind looks complicated, and I want to get in on that.
Got it. Okay.
Speaking of wanting to get in on stuff, do you want to get on in this Ark Nova love? Zoo Tycoon, the board game, does.
Gosh, 100%. That's what I thought the whole time.
Now, it's interesting, though. If you watch the video, they say, and again, who knows what to believe or what. I'm not saying these people are lying, but they said they've been working on this for 3 years. Right?
Oh, right. No, that's fine. I'm kidding, actually. Zoo Tycoon is a strong property in its own right.
This to me, Tom, and I know this one I was looking to you because I was thinking, okay, if anyone's going to be super excited about this, it's going to be you because you like those zoo themes and you like those video games.
I like zoos.
Does this not look more complex than you would expect for a game based off of a video game like that?
I agree. When I saw the Zoo Tycoon, I kind of rolled my eyes. And I was like, well, let's look at it.
It looks more complex than
Ark Nova.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Does,
Oh, that's true. But this looks as complex as Ark Nova.
It really does.
It really does. But it also does They're the same theme. It looks like a very different game.
Yeah, it does.
looks like here when you get these animals down, you're trying to form some sort of more like get different patterns. You're building your zoo. The art is fantastic
I
in this
agree.
game.
That's the
Good
one
looking
thing
game. Yeah.
No.
that is putting this over Ark Nova for me personally.
Yeah.
I think it looks way better than Ark Nova.
It does. It really
Ark
does.
Nova's trash. I don't want to. Well, Ark Nova's trash. This is good.
Yeah, this looks great. Those screen printed meeples.
I said, Mike, did you see the screen printed meeples?
I saw them.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I was looking through these and I was like, wow.
that
I
gorilla?
oh my God, that's cute.
The gorilla figure is my favorite.
Yeah, they're great.
But I was looking at them, and then I got down here and I was
Look
like,
at
I'm backing this.
that. Yeah,
I'm
of
straight up
course.
backing it because of this, because I like that Wild Serengeti.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
And-
this looks great.
Gosh, I love the raccoon.
I wonder if they'll sell all these
pretty.
meeples twice, because then I can stick the second half in
In
Ark
where?
Nova.
In where? Well,
There
no,
you go.
you gotta get rid of that game. Once you have Zoo Tycoon, I guarantee you'll never play Ark Nova again.
Apparently, we covered Tabriz already. All right. Well,
Gosh, I don't remember
I
it.
don't remember covering it in there.
But I did go to, because there was another game. I was like, I think we have this in the library. No, it's just another one that looks like it.
Yeah.
But maybe I was thinking
All right.
that.
Well, you're getting
Anyway,
a
this
double
looks
dip.
interesting. It looks. I don't know. It's both. In some ways, it looks simpler than Ark Nova. In other ways, it looks more complex. But either way, now. So I was curious as to who made it. So I
Yeah.
went and looked at their other games, and they made this Bakachakakuna game, which I forget. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Oh,
Which I did not like,
yeah, we've seen
unfortunately.
that. Yeah.
That's a two-player abstract.
Yeah, I
right?
felt like this was too. Well, there was a little bit too much luck in it for all the moves you made. And then Darwin's Choice, which I liked the thought of Darwin's Choice. In Darwin's Choice, you put animals together, all these
Yeah.
different body parts, make these funky animals.
Okay.
Also, the biggest problem in that one, luck. So I'm hoping, again, that they both had good components. I like
Yeah.
the components of both.
Okay.
Mostly. There was a few minor problems with each, but this artwork is almost Vincent Dutrait-ish. I'm not sure who it is, though. Did they
It's
say who
good.
the artist was?
Oh, I didn't look.
It's
It
Earl Dutrait.
But definitely
definitely gave that vibe.
showing the art in this makes me realize that I would rather see drawn animals than pictures of
Pictures,
animals.
yeah.
Gosh,
absolutely.
yes,
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Mark Duer.
Which is how you say Dutrait.
Business, fulfillment, and art. Man,
Wow.
is that really a two-person team, huh? That's a lot.
It is. The one thing I kept sort of going back and forth is they do have the Zoo Tycoon license for this, right?
It sure sounds like they do. Like,
Because they clearly, it looks like that. This is not an approximation.
say it right here,
It's the same logo.
Where did it say it? Somewhere about the Zoo Tycoon.
yeah, I thought that they said something specifically about they played a ton of two Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah, officially
Licensed,
licensed from Xbox
yeah.
/ Microsoft.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cool. This looks good.
Yeah.
It's a popular theme right now.
Yes.
It looks competent without looking. I don't think it looks overly overwrought, actually. I think it looks good. Recognizable theme, so a lot of people are going to be coming to this, from that. How much
Right.
is this making?
It's in the six figures.
It also costs $100, so keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
Okay,
too.
but,
I mean, look what you
we
get.
just had the Jurassic Park
Look
game
at that,
for
363.
120.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like this isn't making enough, actually, for that theme.
Yep.
All right. Words of a Feather. Now, this is a very unique looking party game, although it's not the first party game to use peacock. Not the first. Sorry, there's
Word
a
game,
It's
right?
there's a trick taking game that uses peacock feathers,
Coco or
where everyone else can see
facing
your
out,
cards
facing
except
out.
you. I still think that looks pretty cool there.
this is definitely a game that is going to stop people that are walking by. I mean,
Yes.
you're not going to
Yeah.
walk by this table and not stop and look. I think it's a very, first of all, I think that's a gorgeous image right there. That is just a gorgeous image. The look on the table looks very elegant.
They're doing the hang the box on the wall.
They
They're
are,
doing
yeah.
that, which
Yeah, like,
that's
very,
certainly something that we saw on canvas. But and the word and the game itself looks a little by the numbers to me
Right.
for a word game by the numbers, where you've got a couple of cards that you are then adding a verbal clue to. The one little twist that I think is cool is that if you get the clue wrong, if you're a guesser, you can still get points if other people guessed wrong the same as you.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, see, yeah, there probably
Oh,
are
there
other
is
games that do
one.
Well,
that.
There was a Dice Tower Central game.
Oh,
Guys.
which one are we talking about?
Speechless.
I don't know that I played
Oh, I don't
Speechless.
ever-
No, come on.
It's the most
Do I-
popular
should I
Dice
tell
Tower
them?
Central game.
Should I tell him or
I-
should you?
I need
You're
to play
fired.
it. I need to play it.
Yeah.
Speechless. No, speech. No, you
You have to play it, yes.
So Speak Just is a game in which basically one person is just doing pantomime and getting people to guess it. But you get a point if everyone guesses it. If you guess it correctly, but you match other people, you get a point.
Even if it's wrong, but you matched other people.
But that was the single thing that I said, I like it. It worked well in the play testing. Anyway.
In this one, you also, I think,
no one plays it anymore.
You're also kind of not quite bidding, but guessing on how many people you'll match with as well.
Ridiculous.
Right? And I think that's kind of the other little hook. Is It's not just matching with people, but trying to nail exactly how many people you're going to match with. I think 2 people will get this, 2 out of the 4, or whatever. And I thought that was an interesting hook, but I agree. It does kind of seem like a lot of little things we've seen in these party games put in a pretty package.
Real pretty.
And that's stuff to be said. I mean, it is pretty.
I know that it's hard to. There's not a lot of party games that come out each year, and it must be hard to design new original ones.
It is.
This one's pretty.
Especially another word game.
That's all I got to say about it. I don't. I have no interest in this. Just one.
I wouldn't say that.
I
would absolutely
play it live.
We play live.
Play
4
this.
party games we played live recently. One of them was decent.
Okay.
This doesn't excite
The
me.
rest sucks.
but it
Worse than
doesn't-
Ark Nova.
It doesn't detract. I would absolutely play it.
If someone set it up and would teach it, I'd sit down because I'd walk by and be like, "Oh, that's interesting. Sure, I'll give it a round."
Yeah.
But again, that's also how I feel about most party games.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
You know,
This is doing well though.
Yeah.
I'm going to back it. All right. Funbrick Series.
Oh boy, here we go.
Mike.
Mike, what should we ask you about?
Well, here's the thing. I'll try not to talk too much for a change.
You've talked more about Viking Seesaw than the game deserves. Straight up.
More than Knizia. Okay?
This is all true. So Itten is a Japanese publisher that makes these kind of very quirky, usually dexterity type games. And this series, this Funbrick series, has been out in Japan. I actually have every one of these games, just the Japanese version.
You do?
Yes. I have the Japanese versions of these. What this is
Speechless.
gets back to what I was saying earlier, which is I think it's great that now you don't have to import these. You can get localized English version of these games for a very reasonable price. I think Viking Seesaw is $18. Whether you think the game has much to it or not, one thing or another. But for just what you're getting, that's super reasonable. These to me are almost they straddle that line of, and this is gonna sound super pretentious, I don't care, game and art. They're almost like playable art in some ways. And I felt the same way about Tokyo Highway and that Crash Octopus.
I actually do agree with you on that.
And these are very silly, light, dexterity-based games.
Although I will say, I still think it's weird, and you're towing this line of, I get games like this all the time, but because they're not from Japan, you ignore them.
It's not just the Japan thing. Look, there's got to be some element of that. Yeah, I tend to like games from Asia, but I tend to like games from places I don't normally see them. But anyway, the form factor also I think is cool. That they all fit in these little boxes. Is it a gimmick? Yes.
No, I agree on that.
I like it. And 2 of these 5 games are by Reiner Knizia. They happen to be the 2 best. Although 3 Second Try is actually a really good little party game. So
is that the Zigzag one?
The Zigzag
that
one.
I want to try.
All of these games I enjoy. And Z is shaking his head derisively.
Mike is like,
the 3 Second Try. That's really, playable art.
3 Second Try is a really cute party
looks
game.
So stupid.
And so I think we were just on the Peacock one. I was like, that's how I feel about most party games. These are, I think some of them kind of toe that line of activity,
sure.
But if this versus a party game, I mean that 3 Second Try, absolutely, that's one that I would.
This is doing really well for these games. 42,000. This is all because of Mike Delicia. Are you quoted on the page? Does it say "Ask me about my seesaw"?
It does not.
That'd be amazing.
It does
That actually would be amazing.
It does have my review of Viking Seesaw on there, but no, I don't have a quote or anything.
Oh man.
There's quotes from other people.
Ask me about my seesaw, Mike Delicia.
Hey, if you want to make that a shirt, I'm all about it.
Oh, Mike, Brian's considering it. All right. Forbidden snacks. Now this word
was
here.
So weird. I saw this. I'm
I
like,
did
wait,
not know
what?
this word existed until Mike started using it. I've always called them.
Charcuterie?
Oh, charcuterie?
I always just said
Meat board.
appetizers or.
Well, you never heard the word charcuterie, really?
Not until I started hearing him say. I think I've seen the word.
interesting.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I normally. Here's a peek behind the curtain. Tom puts up a dice project. Here's Mike thinking about anything else. I usually could not care less. For some reason.
You put a pretentious word in there, though.
That's right. And make it from Japan. Now, I absolutely love this.
I don't know what it is.
You do?
I despise this.
Love this. Now,
I hate it.
do I care? Would I buy it? No. But this is this looks great. It looks just like what they say
It's
it is.
unbelievable.
Which is-
I don't think they're useful dice, actually.
No, they're not.
But they definitely look like what they say.
This is just an aesthetic. Like I'm telling you, you put out a little cutting board with these dice on it. That's going to be a little conversation piece.
Yeah, the conversation is,
No.
let's get out of here. This
Right,
must be
No, this
gross.
is fantastic
No, this is
looking.
We need to
terrible.
leave.
Well, okay,
This
so
person eats dice.
We need
people-
more Tadella dice.
When people see these board game components, like, oh, they're so pretty, they look edible. Oh, I wish I could. We're talking about like Azul, which are Starburst, which are amazing. I'm not talking about a meat plate. I'm not talking about salami.
This is like
That's
These
the
are
greatest thing.
gross,
If you
so
brought this out
gross.
right now, I would sit there and go, oh my word, first of all, I want to eat everything on there.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, I get dice. No one is going to
No.
accidentally grab the dice and eat them. Come on now.
No, I'm going to. I'm saying, but that's what we're talking about. We say it's so pretty. We're talking about something delicate and sweet. Not again blue cheese vomit. No,
Here's the
that's,
thing.
Oh,
I
that's
Let's destroy that
disgusting.
charcuterie board,
That
by
is
the way.
disgusting.
I despise
That
blue
looks good.
cheese as a food, but that's my favorite of the dice.
Which one's the blue cheese? Let me see.
I think the salami one looks amazing.
Salami looks great.
No.
Okay, what do we got?
Prosciutto looks lovely.
Oh, no, this one also
Capicola?
looks great.
Oh,
lovely.
I'm like getting sick to my
Brie,
stomach here.
I'm gonna vomit. Look at that blue cheese die. That's a classy looking
It
die.
looks
right there.
good.
It looks
Again.
gross. It looks like a die that turned for
It
sure.
looks
It
lovely.
really does. It really does. It does look like a die that's too old.
It does. I love
You're like, oh, that blue cheese has been in the fridge too long.
This.
What I don't like about these, and I don't know if this is merely because these are prototypes perhaps or not,
Yeah.
they don't look finished.
They look a little matte. Like
They look rough. You can
Yeah.
see bubbles on the surface if you look closely, and believe me, I did. So I'm worried that the dice won't be good quality. But if they are good quality, this is way better than most of the dice we look
Yeah.
at, merely because this is original and
Yeah.
they're trying something really
What
different.
does it show they're not showing down here, they have some stretch goals, which I
Yeah.
really want to see.
Right.
But they showed it somewhere, maybe it was in I saw the strawberry one somewhere.
Oh, did you?
And that
That's one of the
looked
stretch goals.
Great! But I don't think they're going to, well, they're at 13,000, 7 days ago.
I don't know why this is appealing to me. It just is. I mean,
You know what?
I don't even like most of the foods. I don't like olives. I don't like blue cheese. I just like the look of these dice.
I would-
I feel like
let's
they nail
tear that
the,
plate apart.
I feel like they nail the aesthetic.
One thing that I do like about these is a lot of the time we see dice projects and they're incredibly pretentious.
Yeah.
They do like sea foam.
Right.
The breeze near
Salami.
the ocean. And this guy's like, brie and prosciutto.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that this is so disarming in that way.
Right.
I'm
For
back.
somebody that's saying they should scent the dice, stay tuned.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, yeah.
I talk about gross.
Oh,
All right,
gosh,
we'll get
yeah.
to gross.
We'll
We're
get
going
there.
downhill
We'll get
on that, yeah.
The word game you'll flip over. So this is a Scrabble with hexes, but you can also
they
flip the
flip.
tiles.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, yes, yeah. This is one where I think it would be too convoluted, as weird as that sounds, because you add those little wild ones. How are you supposed to?
Done, yeah.
Yeah, I
At
don't
that
know.
point, I jump off. Yeah.
Do you like working backwards like that word art? It's diagonally backwards. Does that throw you off?
It doesn't bother me because it sounds like what they're doing is they're saying this is almost like a mixture between Scrabble and a word search because you're also trying to find other words that you then flip,
Right.
and so I don't know. I mean, I think it's at least somewhat innovative. It's not terribly interesting to me, but it's at least somewhat innovative, and they also are making this in their home, so they're saying that this is also something that they're going to deliver on very quickly.
Yeah.
This is one we looked at abstract earlier that I said I didn't really like the look of it. This is one on a coffee table would absolutely catch my eye. I think it's gorgeous production, but I also think if this actual game is for you. I do not like Scrabble. I'm pretty cold on word searches, word games, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So I have zero interest in the play, but it's one of those I can see people that like those really being into this.
Yeah.
If you really like Scrabble, this is maybe a coffee table version of that.
Wait, so go back up a couple
Maybe this
images,
isn't.
Tom.
I'm more interested the more I look
Go
at it.
up. Right there is fine, actually. The one we just passed. You're saying you like this look, that stained wood look,
Absolutely.
more than the cherry wood on the other one?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, 100%.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm glad that
This one
it
doesn't
was
even
evenly-
look like an even stain across the whole thing.
I think that's the
which is
point.
fine. Very homemade. You know,
It
that's
is.
cool.
That rustic look with the leather stitching on it, I really like that a lot.
Leather stitching? Is
Oh,
there
yeah.
leather stitching?
Yeah.
It's three individual stained boards that are then stitched together with
okay.
leather.
Yeah, with leather, so it's leather bound.
Oh, that is interesting.
I
All right.
like the other one. That cherry even look is much.
No, I
What's the word? Better.
no. Again, the cherry like with that white, like that kind of that white look. I didn't like the
All
mix
right.
of that.
Hero, but it's HE.R.O.
I was
Emergency room board game.
I have to admit, I was annoyed by that because I'm like, what does this stand for? And it turns out if you had to go to the FAQ. Of
course you
believe
do.
me, I did. That's just to accentuate the ER for like emergency room.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, so that's right. There's no period after the O.
No.
Oh.
Or after the H.
Oh, well, I know. I see the
Yeah,
H.
yeah.
That's
So
obvious.
it's hero, and they're bringing out the ER. Oh, okay.
Now my guess
Maybe
is
retitle your game.
Maybe,
just to
but-
say like something ER.
I'm guessing that this is maybe maybe not English as their first language, and maybe you wouldn't get that. That's so. I mean, to us that might feel a little bit like, oof, that's you're really kind of pushing. It doesn't fit.
It doesn't work.
If you don't,
right.
if that's not your primary language, you may not catch that. I can kind of see
Got
it, but
it.
for some reason it was like, it annoyed me. I wanted the dots after every letter. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so
you
dumb.
got to do that with like a color and font size
That's it.
thing, not with the
Right.
dots.
yeah.
Do you like the chibi art?
I don't.
I hate it.
I don't. I don't love the look of this,
No, I don't.
unfortunately. Yeah.
It's like chibi Japanime.
just like that you hate it.
I
You
didn't
just
like
hate
at all.
it.
The other thing, and I'm not trying to elbow drop this game because I think I can kind of see what I think they're trying to do, but it seems like a lot of this, what you're doing is you are taking actions, but certain actions will add chaos, and the chaos can be something that's negative, right?
Right.
But I don't understand thematically why some things would be chaos. Now they say, look, you can walk for an action. That makes sense. Or you can run for an action, but that adds chaos. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't want to run through a hospital. Okay. Another
done
thing
it.
you can do is you can hire an advisor. That gets chaos. Why?
They're new.
Is it no? Yeah, new.
That's what it is.
Cooks in the kitchen.
The nude advisors.
What? I read
Okay.
the FAQ too. Okay?
Yeah. So anyway, I just was a little confused thematically, and this is a game that certainly seems to be leading with its theme, right?
Absolutely, and the look, actually,
Yeah.
which I'm obviously being
Right.
hyperbolic about hating. I merely despise it.
It really
But
looks
yes,
like
it
the
has-
precious moments kids grew up and are now working in a hospital.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that girl, the blonde, yeah, definitely.
Mr.
that's
Millstream
good.
knocked
That's
out
a
of the
good
park
one.
with that. I'm sorry. That's great.
That's a fantastic comment.
But I'm not going to repeat it because I've already gotten grief for making that comment before.
All right.
That's pretty good.
All right, here we go. Next one. Survival of the Fattest. When I first heard the title of this game, I was not expecting this theme. I
Okay.
thought it would be a bunch of fat guys.
Fat dudes, I know. Where's the fatties?
When you sent the list of Kickstarters to look through, this is the first one I clicked on. And it was like 3/4 later. I was like, oh, yes, please.
I love the fatties. That's not
That
right.
is pretty funny. Now, this is one where I do like the art in the game quite a bit, and I think those minis
Oh
are
my
also
gosh,
pretty
that bear.
spectacular.
I love him.
The bear is great, but did you see the fox with the big mustache
Oh my
too?
gosh,
Yeah, that's
right?
pretty fantastic.
Oh, and the Otter's very
Old Grizz,
underrepresented.
old Grizz. Yeah, this is one that I'm going to put it this way. I didn't do a lot of research. I looked at the thing. I want to like this because I like the kind of the theme, the look they're going for. I didn't look enough into the game to decide whether it's something I would like. Isn't that great?
It's
That's
so
a very,
fantastic.
very fancy
love
fox
it.
right there.
I do feel like the look of the game, like all the text on the cards and
Yeah.
all the, like, I don't know, those two things feel a little bit at odds
They
to me.
do. They do.
You know, there's a lot of text in this game, and the game's art, which I really like,
Yeah.
suggests a different, more tranquil, more sort of ethereal almost sort of setting. But it's this survival of the fattest kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about
It
it.
kind of makes me wonder it's going to have a little bit, not quite take that, but getting too in the way. But I think thematically that works. It's survival of the fattest. You know, yes, you're going to get in each other's way because I need that hot dog.
Who threw it perfectly? Well, maybe it's because they put ketchup on it.
We've got
no, it's all that-
cheese
that
and
mustard. Oh,
mustard
gross.
and, yeah.
Like, but they
Yeah.
threw the whole. There's not even a bite taken out of it. Maybe like some kid was whining, his mom just grabbed the hot dogs. Like,
No,
you don't have
you're saying
dinner.
'cause that's on
No
the
food
forest
for you?
floor?
Like,
Is it in the trash? Are
No,
we
that's-
assuming it's in the trash?
No,
Yeah.
No, it's on the forest floor. It grew out of the forest floor.
Oh my gosh, no.
Hot dogs
No,
grow out
no,
of the
no,
forest.
no,
Isn't that
no.
how they work?
No. Okay. Yeah, the
but I think-
artwork.
Yeah,
Great.
so I'm concerned about that mechanism, but I think it works within this theme, and it's just, this is one that I think the more I looked at, the more interested I was. With the I don't want to say asymmetrical factions, but like your own faction that you
Yeah.
are you the bear, not your player, I guess. It plays differently. You know, the bear, nobody wants to challenge him. Like,
Right.
oh, he went there, I'm good. You know, or the shy deer who tries to get in there. It's just, they all have their personalities that I think is really, this is one, despite that mechanism, I want to try this. I'm really interested in this one.
The look is doing lots.
It
here.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
A Haunting in Apex, a 60 to 90 minute escape room in a box for 1 to 4 players. It's another escape room where they definitely did not. That so looks like if I searched haunted house on Google.
That'll be the
First would be
third.
very, very much.
That's the third picture.
Third image.
Yeah.
Number 7 will shock you.
Every time I use Waze as an app, they always take me past that house for some reason.
Isn't this like the cabin in the woods? Didn't it look a little like this?
I think that's what they're
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do,
Okay.
yeah. That definitely seems like they're at least nodding to that.
You know what? It's like, ooh, haunting. Meeples. That totally makes me not think horror anymore. Once you get
Yeah.
down to meeples that are translucent,
Yeah.
I'm no longer afraid.
Yeah. Yeah, this is. I'm not really into these escape room games. I know you tend to
Is that
like
Amy?
these.
Oh, yeah.
Is this intriguing to you at all?
No, I have so many of these, and this one looks very, very indie. And I'm less interested because of that. I mean, I can see some people liking it, but
Yeah.
it's
This
just okay.
This is 5th. Have they done more escape rooms or other projects? I didn't look at that. It says the 5th created,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah, let's see if we did any of the old ones. I don't think we
I
have.
don't even know what they are.
Gateways and Griffins.
Canceled.
A gruesome, this view screen? Okay, that's kind of weird.
Interesting.
No, I'm not
So
familiar with
weird
any of
stuff.
those.
It all
Yeah,
looks.
so-
It all has that same incredibly busy graphic look.
It does, yeah.
All right, well, that's the last of our games. Before we jump to Mark, Camilla, can you hand me that clipboard?
Oh, yes!
We want to do a few shout-outs to some of our own Kickstarter backers. So we want to say thanks to Thomas Covert, thanks to Alan with his family, Anna Adam Travelby, Scott Duncan, thank you, Lisa Connolly, thank you, and then Joshua I'll be Bach. No, his name's just Joshua Bach, but I mean, I don't know.
Why not?
That's okay, yeah, that's a
I
good
get it. I
last
see
name.
that. Yeah.
All right, also, yes, so thank you all for backing our show.
Thank
Thank
you
you
guys.
so
Shout out.
much.
Woohoo!
Now we'll hear from Mark.
Streed.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview recap. I'm Mark, and today we're going to be traveling to New York and Paris, we're going to be traveling through the galaxy, and we're going to be making some tea. So let's get to it. And first up we have Boba Heist. This is the game about making boba tea. Yes, you need the right ingredients, and you're going to be using action cards to possibly steal bobas from other players. Now there's a lot of back and forth. Teas will change hands frequently, lots of different actions do various things. A very quick playing card game with some pretty cute artwork. And then we have Helionox Chronicles. Yes, this is a new standalone game in the Helionox world where you're playing cooperatively this time. Still some deck building in there, but you're going to be using actions to do various things to move around the galaxy. You need fuel, of course, but you all are working against an adversary. And there's various actions that take place that will help you and aid you through the course of trying to defeat him or win the scenario. And there's a series of scenarios, kind of like a legacy game to some degree, but you could open everything and just play from there. But what's neat is that as you move through the different scenarios, it introduces new rules and new things you get to do and experience. A really fast-paced game with some interesting choices. And then we have On the Underground. Now, this is a new version of the game, or new maps, I should say. You had originally London and you had Berlin, but now we have New York and Paris with all kinds of new options as you travel around the maps and do various things. Now, the thing I like about it is the fact that the theme is that you have to make tracks for your passenger who is super lazy. They are more willing to ride around the city on a line versus walking one space to a destination. And that's really the basics of what you're doing, is laying track in order to create your different routes and get points as the passenger moves along them. But between New York and Paris, there's some variations. Like in Paris, there's some set collection and various things you can do. And in New York, there's different areas that you can combine and connect to that give you points as well. So there's definitely some nice variation here. And I will say that my pick of the week is this game. It is just so much fun. The thing about it is, that it is so easy to teach, yet there's tons of really interesting strategy to be had in this one. As you move around the city and create your tracks, as it expands, it becomes a really interesting puzzle as the game gets towards the end, as you make those giant loops around the city. Alright folks, if any of these games look like they might be of interest to you, please check out our full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. Alright folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
That thing looks like it ate some of the charcuterie dice, I think. Ooh.
That's disgusting.
All right, we got a few projects here that are not, well, not all of them are games. If you have any of these interesting projects to send them to me at tom@dicetower.com. Try not to send them the day before the day of. That means they get pushed back to next week because I make these lists early. But here we go. This one is just interesting. H.E.R.O. bring true modularity to your workstation. You can do this and tie up all your devices.
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
I've often been, so the new iPad allows you to use it as a second screen.
Yes.
And I've done that occasionally.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I didn't know about that. What?
Yeah, it's a little slow, but
What?
you find that problem too?
Yeah, it's a
A
little
little sluggish?
it's not as smooth as I like to be.
You can put the iPad next to like your computer,
Yeah.
and you can have it behave as a second monitor, where you can drag the mouse over into it, and they can, yeah, it's
I
the
need someone to
future.
set that up for me.
I'll show you. It's incredibly
This is
easy.
kind of neat that it has the can't like your phone there, but
Yeah.
also I don't know that I need that. Like I don't know how often I need this when I'm traveling. Like I have a monitor at my house, and thank you Neil Douglas for the super
Thank
chat.
you,
Very
Neil.
awesome.
Yeah.
I have at work I have an extra monitor. At home I have an extra monitor. I always try to use the extra monitor
Right.
for when I'm working because it's nice to have an extra monitor.
Right.
But if I'm traveling, I just usually make do without it, and I have very often thought, oh, I need an extra monitor here in the airport.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
No.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
You go.
I say no. I disagree with that. Like in a hotel room, you know, like if you're in a hotel room, and if I could have just my laptop
true.
and the iPad, like when we go to Dice Tower West, and I'm still doing emails and keeping up with all that stuff, I think that would be fantastic.
You can do that, though. You didn't know you could do it, but you could do it. This is just the attachment thing.
Yes.
I do like that attachment a lot.
To me,
actually.
that's what I think makes it a more compelling project. Is that it's not. This is not just a way to attach an iPad to your Mac or your PC. This is a little bit more versatile. I mean, you can stick your phone up here now. Now you can use your phone your iPhone as a webcam. So now you can have it at a different height, or you can. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a pretty slick. And it's not a technology. It's a technology adjacent, right? Really, this is just a.
It's not technology. It is,
Right.
however, almost a little too invasive for me. You have to stick something to the back of your computer,
That I
and
agree
to
with.
the back of your
Yes.
phone,
That I
and
agree
to the
with.
back of your iPad. I don't like that.
Only the
Right.
back of your phone if it's not an iPhone, because if it has a mag.
Yeah,
MagSafe thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't like that, the permanence of that. That you have to modify your computer
Right.
for this to work, and your iPad for it to work. Then you have that crap stuck on there all the time, even if
Right.
you use this once a month. I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, if this is singing to you, it's fairly obvious what you're getting.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I doubt it does not work. It probably is exactly what you're seeing.
When does it deliver?
2026.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's
It's
my
making
concern.
a lot of money.
2023.
January,
Oh.
right?
Don't
Like-
believe it. I'm not backing it.
No,
Well,
that's
not
just
back
too
tech.
soon.
It's not tech,
good,
though.
It's not
It's just
tech.
magnets.
that's a tech. It was in the tech section.
Magnets are
It's
It's in the tech
technology.
section.
I'd say it's a gadget.
Gadgets are scary, okay?
Oh my gosh.
What I mean
I'm
is,
frightened and confused.
I'll wait till it comes out before I buy it.
You'll never see it.
I'm not falling for this again.
Where'd you back it, though? Back it real quick.
Would you guys like some smoked maple bourbon caramel sauce?
This is
Absolutely.
the funniest video this whole
This
week.
video is great.
Did you
I
guys
didn't
see it?
watch
Yeah,
the
yeah.
video.
Load
No,
it
I
up.
didn't see
Yes.
it.
Buckle in,
Oh.
folks. And there's
Watch
your
it.
video.
It's done.
So from what I can
They
tell,
don't show you the bottle.
nothing.
It's
No.
basically they walked up to someone at a soft serve and they're like, "Hey, hold on, can we record you real quick?"
Yep.
Thanks.
From
we
what
have
I
our
can-
Kickstarter done.
From what I can tell, this is basically like an independent ice cream store that has this maple or this maple bourbon, which sounds delicious sauce, and they're like, hey, people have said you should bottle this. So we said, why not?
I just feel
But it
bad
sounds
because
like-
it says they say customer after customer asks us
Right,
that.
but no one's
Why aren't
backing
they
it.
backing the project then?
Because probably they're not aware of it because this is incredibly badly done.
The other thing
and
I'm
assuming advertised worse.
And it also worries me too. First of all, they're not telling you much
You
of
wanna
anything.
watch the video again?
But if you look at the risks and challenges, they're like, we're pretty sure we can make this stable for, you know what I mean? I was like,
yeah, it's still like, after this funds, we'll do the development.
getting
And you're
caramel
like,
sauce that's
"Hey."
shelf stable without any added preservation could be a challenge.
That is
Yeah.
a challenge,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
You
Is it
buy
going to
stuff-
change
could be.
the flavor, you know?
It is.
You need to buy it and use it right away.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like this would be better suited, like they're at their shop and they're having it there. Someone
Yeah.
comes in, hey, I want some of your sauce. Cool. They pull a little mason jar off, they fill it up, and then it's like, hey, it's up to you. You know, but it's sold in, packaged right there on
I
demand.
agree. This is not. The Kickstarter should almost be, if you want to run one, for an addition to the store.
Right. Yeah.
Where you bottle the stuff and sell it.
Yeah.
Not, we'll ship it to you across the country. Where is this located? Nova Scotia? Is that what that says? I'm kidding. I made that up.
I don't know what you're
Oh
talking
my
about.
gosh. Up, it goes up a little bit.
The Supreme
York.
Court.
New York,
says-
right?
New York, there you go. Hudson,
New
New
York.
York.
New York.
Ah,
Okay. It's in the Hudson.
All right. The next project, no less than 8 different people sent this to me, and all asked that Z be appraised of this. And I'm playing the video. I don't care if the sound effects are a YouTube thing. Here we
Oh
go.
my gosh, this is horrifying.
This is, Yep, I'm in. I'm in. Uh-huh.
Disgusting.
I like.
Sniff it. Oh, smell it.
Is this you, Mike? Did they hire you for the
They
voiceovers?
did. They did.
No, is this the part? Is this it?
I'm
No.
uncomfortable.
When is it?
Ah!
No. That one. Nope.
They look terrible,
They
too.
look
Oh my
awful.
gosh.
It's not that they smell like chicken, fried chicken, it's that they look awful also.
Do they come greased?
That would be great, actually. If he tried to like do that riffle and they all went flying, and then he's got like chicken grease on him.
I'll wait till we're done with the video here, but
Which one? He took that over to chicken, and that bothers me seeing those
Yes.
cards on top of chicken because
there's a lot of there's so many issues. So from what I can understand is that they've got like some micro bead technology, and so when you are sniffing it, it's actually you're bursting open these micro beads. And I guess it's like some kind of fried chicken essential oil, which I didn't know existed, and I could have lived my whole life not knowing it ever existed. Isn't that? Aren't you going to just smell like fried chicken for the rest of the day because it's going to be on your hands now? Is that how it works?
Does it also
I mean, I guess
only
so.
work
Yeah,
a
if
few
it's an essential
times?
oil.
That's the other question I'm asking. I don't know.
Hopefully, we can only hope it stops working.
The smell factor.
I might be buying this for Z.
Also,
Oh my
they're
gosh.
terrible looking cards, I think.
Oh,
but
the
I'm not a
chicken
card
on the cards.
aficionado.
Yeah, what is that? If you didn't know that
What?
was chicken, would you guess?
That's a McDonald's
That's
McNugget
also
right
McDonald's.
I don't
there.
know
Those
what
are
That's
that
definitely
looks like.
McDonald's.
Okay, I'm not
McNuggets.
going to tell you what I think it looks like.
Oh, I hate the
It's
cards.
so gross.
I
The
hate
tips
it.
are disgusting. Oh, fried chicken? Really?
Yeah.
I would take almost, and I mean this, any other scent.
I love
Oh,
fried
you don't like
chicken.
the smell of fried chicken?
Not particularly,
Oh my
no.
gosh. I do.
no, it
I love
smells
fried
amazing.
chicken. I love the smell of fried chicken. While it's
maybe-
cooked,
maybe
while
you're
it's,
getting
no,
it.
while it's cooked in 5 minutes after. After that,
Yeah.
no, you do not need to smell it for the rest of the day. It's.
Have you heard of the bursting microbeads, though?
I've not, and I'm with Mike.
Only
I'm
1,000
not.
decks, so you get it now or never.
That's right.
Never.
All
I
right.
could just take a deck of cards at home, rub it in some fried chicken,
There you
though.
go.
Bam! Custom-made chicken-scented playing cards.
Don't
Just get a
essential
bucket of
oils.
KFC, right? You eat your bucket in 20 or 30 seconds, and then you just dump the cards in there, shake it
Take
up a
them to
little
Home
bit.
Depot,
There
where
you
they'll
go.
shake it for you with the paint mixer.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
I need you to
yes.
infuse my cards with this
Fantastic.
pure essence of fried chicken.
All right. Finally, we have the
geez.
smart wearable foot massager because who wants to sit up straight while
That's
you
right.
get your feet
It
massaged?
sounds like a Marvel villain, Zimmo Freefoot.
I like the idea that maybe you could just be like walking down the street wearing these.
I know, right?
Those look weird. You're like, yeah, but you will not believe how good my feet feel right now.
Right? I want these on top of those walking skate things that we looked at last time. I want these
There we
attached
go.
to that, and I can just be like strolling down the street getting
But
massage.
okay, so I get the foot massage thing. My wife loves these. I bought her like the whole thing before,
Right.
not separate ones. I've obviously
They come together
Clearly,
like a thing where you slip both feet into it.
right. But why does it matter? Like they're showing this lady more versatility. Like she can push the one leg out. Who cares?
I care about that. Those things that you put the 2 feet in and they massage you.
Yeah.
They are sometimes too close to each other. It's not the most comfortable thing.
You're only in there for like 20 minutes.
And those 20 minutes are a pure hell.
Z doesn't like his foot sensory deprivation test.
Then don't do them. What is wrong?
Once your feet are in there, you can't pull them out halfway. You're in for the ride at that
When
point.
you go to. All right. Well, anyway, so see, you want these?
you're so
they also
dramatic.
just they almost look like something the
Look at
Jetsons
this.
would have.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
come
This
on.
is dumb.
This is,
No, that's
No
ridiculous.
one's doing that.
Lying on the sofa, walking in the office. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, these are banned from the Dice Tower. I want to see someone walking around with these on.
Right.
Also, is this like a charging port for them?
Yeah.
Yes.
That
How
way you can
big
walk
is that?
around.
It's very large.
It's
It has
large.
a transparent top too, so it looks like something you would put on the stove.
Right. Yeah. No, it's
These are interesting, but again, tech. So who knows?
right. Yeah, they've got like airbags inside and everything else.
That's true.
They have
People-
that in the past. I mean, again, I've used these kinds of things. They are
That's
together.
gigantic.
They
It
do
is.
have sort of an
Yeah.
airbag thing,
Right.
heat,
Jeez.
the whole shebang. The main gimmick here is they're separate. You
Right.
can, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, but you want
Yeah.
to. No, this.
This is dumb.
No,
Come
because you want your
on.
feet, you want the pressure of your
Right, you're
body
gonna put
weight
them
to
on
actually
the
get
floor,
it. Yeah.
right.
So how hard is it to get on? You're like trying to get it up on the desk.
Imagine, I
My
know.
kids come pick my feet up and put it on the desk.
Yeah,
I want to look cool.
yeah, that's.
These actually here, these pictures look like AirPods. Someone said they look in the comments like they look like the helmets from Spaceballs, which is definitely a bit of it.
True. Also, why is it only the feet? Why can't you have hand massagers? Right?
I don't know that anything's stopping you at this point.
You could.
I'm saying
Stick
I
'em
want
in.
into the feet?
Get 4.
Could you imagine?
You just have to put your feet in first, because if you got your hands in there,
Then
you're not going to
then
be
you're
able to
useless,
work
yeah.
the feet thing. You have to
I
use your
didn't think
nose.
this through. You're like, oh, how do I get out?
There's an order of operations.
Wow, that is interesting. You're walking around on all 4 around the house,
That would be
getting a
great.
serious massage.
That's
yeah.
what the person goes. We need to take a break.
yeah,
Sorry,
right.
this
I need
is
to unwind.
all right. Okay, enough of this stuff. Let's go to our picks of the week. We'll do Z first since he's not in as much stress as everybody else.
So much stress.
I'm gonna go with that cherrywood abstract
I
game.
knew it.
You
Where
did?
is it? I can't
Where is
find it,
it? I thought
obviously.
you might go with the
there we
card
go.
battle.
Wana, that's what it is. I couldn't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Again, there's lots of higher profile projects this week, and they're lovely. This is not high profile, but it seems lovingly done. It is clearly very indie. This person has delivered games before, well finalized games. And so there's a little more trust there than like a first timer doing something like this. I like the look. I think I like the game. In fact, I could try it
could try it
because
right
I got
now.
the
Right
print
now.
and play, right? So it's a pretty safe, it's a safe project to back in many ways, and I respect that. And I guess, like I said, I'm kind of in the mood for abstracts lately. So
Yeah. This looks cool. This is very, very cool.
All right, Camilla.
Oh man, I'm still struggling. Mike, do you want to go?
All right, Mike.
Oh, no.
I'm struggling too, but I'm not gonna cheat. Although I am gonna throw another a bit of love to Unconscious Mind, because it's fantastic. It's fantastic. But for my pick of the week, I'm going for something a little bit lower profile, kind of like you were saying with the It and Funbrick series. I'm charmed by these games. I know there's no there's no
I say Z
intrigue.
Crowdsurfing. This is
Yeah, let's
Mike.
keep Z's up there too. No, I am absolutely charmed by these games. I feel like it's a bit lower profile, though it's doing quite well. I absolutely adore what they're doing. I think they have a very, very unique aesthetic. I feel like they know exactly what they're trying to do. They fit a very particular niche in the hobby. It's not going to be for everybody. If you like little silly dexterity games, party-ish type games, these are fantastic. I'm happy to see them coming to a wider audience.
I'm pulled in 3 different directions right now. I feel like a horse being drawn and quartered here, but
That's terrifying.
That was
yeah.
disgusting.
What?
Just go to the
How I
charcuterie
feel,
dice.
okay?
It's
It's
the
how I
charcuterie
feel.
dice.
Charcuterie dice, yes.
I'm gonna give the nod to unconscious mind, though.
Yeah, I'm glad because I wanted someone to pick it.
I really wanted that survival of the fattest. That was probably my biggest surprise. The more I look at it, the more excited and intrigued I am. But unconscious mind, it's the right kind of heavy. You know, I'm also. Sometimes put as that like don't like heavy Euro game kind of thing. I don't think that's the thing. I just like the themes to be very well integrated into my heavy Euros, and that's what. And again, this isn't super heavy, but I would definitely put in that medium to heavy. You know, I think it's a little bit more personally than Endless Winter, but I really liked what I played of it, and it was very well integrated. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the idea of the kind of ethereal artwork of Bosley versus the Dutrait, you know, kind of real world set in the setting. I just think that's
Such a cool idea.
It's
To have 2
so
artists
well done.
representing 2 different aspects of a game.
Yeah.
And they chose the right artist for the right part.
Yeah, that's
you know
just,
what I'm
that's
saying?
just cool.
Like
That's
opposite.
just cool. It's
It
like
also
Face
has
Off
that,
all over.
the transparent kind of card on top of other cards
Yes.
thing, which it's
until you heal them and then they come back. You know, I mean, it's
a
so
great-
much in this. I just can't speak enough. I'm very, very excited for this one.
Me too. Nice job, Camilla, because I wanted someone to
All right,
recognize
you're
it.
welcome, Mike.
I almost picked it, but
Did you?
No, but
Chicken cards?
No.
Nah, I like
Zoo
Zoo Tycoon
Tycoon,
a lot.
yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You know what though? When I saw Zoo Tycoon, I really thought I would skip on to the next one.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a
'Cause
high
you're
opinion of
expecting-
intellectual property games.
Right, you're not expecting this to be interesting, to look good, but it does.
It does look good.
It looks good. It looks fun. The pieces look great. I hope it's good.
There's a kid about to be killed on the cover there by a bear.
Yeah, that's a really terrifying zoo.
Yeah, I love
if
that.
you get the bears just looking at him and that's like, keep it up.
I'm over here busy with this parrot, kid. Defend yourself.
The
You're
kid,
not even supposed to be getting that close to a parrot.
I know, right?
the kid's trying to run away, but he's weighed down by those foot massagers he's wearing.
Just off the screen. there.
Just out of
Just out
frame.
there, yeah.
Alrighty, well that is that, folks. That's everything on Crowdsurfing this week. We'll be back tomorrow morning with Board Game Smorgasbord. We'll see you then.
Top 10 also.
And a top 10 tomorrow. A top 10 that people are definitely misconstruing online.
Yes.
We top 10 good games that have fallen flat. What we mean by that are games that we like a lot, but we've had a miserable or terrible experience with them at least once.
Right.
Oh.
Maybe
And we're talking
only
about
once.
specifically those experiences, and we're talking about that time we played with you.
You know who you are.
Maybe. Anyway, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
Have fun eating hors d'oeuvres.